Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Lab by Ecommerce, the place for everything related to Amazon FBA and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecommerce. And today we bring you a very special guest. His name is Dano, and he's the founder and CEO of defdevice, which is a digital marketing agency. And they actually bring today a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about a strategy that he designed around VLC e-commerce a conversion, which is basically a strategy that he helps you understand how you can take advantage of all the traffic that comes to your website and basically retarget them and create a customer list from that. So, Dano, it's a pleasure to have you here today. How you doing, my friend?
Thank you, Vincenzo. Such a pleasure to be on your show. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me, man.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I think it's a pleasure for me as well to have you on. I know usually on this show we talk a lot around the Amazon space, but I think at the same time we need to understand that e-commerce is much more than just Amazon and hearing about strategies outside of Amazon, such as the one you're going to be talking today, which is the VLC e-commerce conversion booster and grow hack. I can't
Mm.
wait. I know you have a lot of things to talk about that, but before we jump actually into that, which I know a lot of people is already saying, what is VLC? How does it work? I have never heard of it, and so on. I think I first want to start with a little bit about you, how you got started into the commerce space, and what brought you
Mm.
to where you are right now. If you can give us a little bit of background there as well, yeah.
Yes, sure. I'll give you a quick summary. So I was born in Ukraine. I was raised in Germany, and after high school, I decided that I never want to sit in a classroom again, and I became an entrepreneur. So that's what am I doing for the past 20 over years. So I have run an agency in Germany, in Munich. I moved to Malaysia in 2009. I built an Amazon private label business in 2014, and I sold it in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I decided to go back to my agency work and help other sellers, Amazon sellers, e-commerce businesses, and other SMEs to grow and to succeed online with all the experience that I have gathered along the way.
Wow, what a journey!
That's that's the short, yeah, that's the short version of my of my
That's
yeah, of
great.
my summary. Yeah,
Great. Thank you for
yeah.
sharing with that. And tell us a little bit about how you came up with this strategy. I know we were talking about this before getting started with the show, but actually after seeing a little bit more information of this, what the strategy looks like in your website and everything, it
Mm.
sounds like you definitely did your investigation and you put your a lot of time to figure out this out. So tell us a little bit about how this VLC methodology actually came into your way and how you started implementing it. Yeah, if you can give us a little bit of insights about that.
Yeah, sure. So when people ask me what is the main problem when you sell on when you do e-commerce, selling
Hmm.
online, what is the major challenge? My answer to that is selling to strangers.
Yeah,
Uh,
always.
yeah, so that I think to summarize, if I had to put it into one sentence, what is the biggest challenge selling online, especially on your own store, is selling to strangers because it takes a lot of effort, a lot of all this traffic, all SEO, whatever you do to get people to see your offer, to come to your website. It's not easy, and it most of the time it's quite costly. And the average conversion rate over the past 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, has dropped from 2.8 to 1.4%.
Yeah.
So it actually went down like by 50%. So and this the zero moment of truth, this study from Google that investigates how many touch points people need to make a purchase,
Yeah.
went from 5 touch points, I think, like 10 years ago, to over 30, like 35 or so. So
Mm-hmm.
now in 2023, the average amount of touch points, like amounts, like how many times people have to interact with us until they make a purchase, has went up to over 30 times. So conversion has become a very big topic, and also with the iOS 14 thing,
Yeah.
with
That was a big
retargeting
issue.
becoming Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big hit for many people who depended on retargeting. So I mean, the bottom line is it's traffic has become more and more precious and more expensive. And to get people who visit our website to actually interact with us, to leave their email address, to buy from us eventually, that is the biggest challenge that we have right now in the e-com space. Yeah, and so the logical step was to find a way how we can increase this conversion rate, which has
Mm-hmm.
dropped to like 1.4%. How can we increase it? And we have tried a lot of things, and they all just work to improve conversion rates by 1 to 2% until we came about this system where we can actually capture our visitors' email addresses and names and put
Mm-hmm.
them into our email list. So
Okay.
this is a very unusual, and I think it's a rather unique system
Yeah.
that I developed with my team and my IT partners. So it's basically it's based on a database.
Okay.
So we have a huge database of people who have subscribed to this database,
Okay.
and we can match. So and we can put a script on your ecom store. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have your own store like a WooCommerce, Shopify, whatever, where you have control over your source code, over your website, if you install a simple script on this page, then this script will connect with our database, and we can track the people that are visiting your store and leaving without making a purchase, without signing up in your sign up form or doing any other interaction.
Yeah.
And we can actually track around 15%, so 1 5
Okay.
15% of these visitors we can typically put into our CRM, into our customer relationship management system, and these people become our leads. So
Wow.
now we can, instead of like having 2 or 3 out of 100 people
Yeah.
whose email addresses we get, now we have 15, which
So
is,
it's basically it's kind of you created your own Facebook pixel, right? It's like you can
yeah,
now
yeah,
do your
yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
tracking.
In a way, yeah. So and I really love to be independent of all these giants like
Yeah, I
Google
know.
and Facebook and Amazon, and not to have to rely on their mercy, to do our stuff and to get our leads and to get contact details. So with this system, we are actually quite independent, and we can capture around 15%. Most of the time, it's more than that, and we
Awesome.
can put all these people into our database, and then of course it's up to us to be smart about how we email them. And
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
you
part of our
retarget them.
service is also to create like an email sequence where we send them a direct offer, and we also talk about the company, so but we're all familiar with this principle of how we can bond, how we can add value to our visitors, and how we can slowly turn prospects into warm leads and then into customers. So this is the process that comes after that.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I wanted to ask you just a quick question because I
sure.
bet a lot of people now may wonder this when it comes to implementing builds in their business. Is like with your experience implementing this with your clients so far, have you found that this work the best in a specific industry? And what I mean by that is maybe works better for pros that have to do with beauty or pros that have to do with specific niches,
Mm.
or you found that it actually applies to any kind of product, any kind of avatar of client. What have you found in your experience?
That's a very good question. So there are a few basic requirements that we need to check off. So number one, the traffic has to be US based, because
Oh,
our system only works in the United States.
okay.
That's number
Okay.
one. Number two, we need a minimum amount of traffic. So we cannot work with websites which have a few hundred visitors per month.
Mm,
We need at least like around 10,000 visitors per month. And after that, uh, getting back to your question, so it's great to have, number one, recurring, like consumable products, of course.
yeah.
Supplements, foods,
Yeah.
whatever, everything that is kind of recurring works better. And
Mm-hmm.
also everything that is a bit high ticket, a bit higher purchase value is also better. So it's better to sell a higher, if you have a higher ticket product, let's say luxury goods,
Mm-hmm.
furniture, where the average order value is about like more than $100. That works better. And as I said, especially when you have recurring customers, when people keep on buying your supplements or your dog food or whatever,
Yeah.
that's also very helpful, because we also have to look at the lifetime value of our
Mm-hmm.
customers,
For sure.
and especially when we build our email list, then of course the lifetime value goes up exponentially, especially when these people come back and buy from us again. And this is of course most of the time the case when with consumable products, but it can also be, but it also does work with in many other niches. I mean, I would say it works the better the higher ticket the product is you're selling,
Yeah.
and it works the better the more traffic you have.
Awesome. And now, when it comes to this email list that we start to generate using the VLC methodology, what kind of information can we get out of these clients besides the email? Do we get access to things such as their age, gender, things like that, or how much information can we
Uh,
get out of them?
at the beginning, no. At the moment, we just get email address and their names. So
Okay.
these are the two data points that we get. We don't get the whole story of the demographics.
Yeah.
That's we don't get that. But I mean, it does the job. So in order to send them an email and to
Yeah.
follow
That's
up
what you
with
need.
them,
Yeah.
name and email is good enough. But no, we don't get then any other information about them. And
Okay. And when it comes to strategy after once you get the email, can you share with us maybe some tips you have seen in terms of how you proceed with the approach? Because let's say you start implementing the VLC methodology, but again, as you mentioned, you can have hundreds of leads, but if you know how to communicate with them and how to follow up on them, then it's a waste, right? I
yeah,
think the part of the magic is also how to keep engaging with it. So
yes,
usually, can
exactly.
you give us
Yeah.
a little bit of tips around that as well, if you can? Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have a strategy for our email sequence that we
Hmm.
build. So the first step is to build a 5-step email sequence, which we send out in the first week.
Okay.
And it's normally, so the strategy here is to send out first like a welcome email to say, hey, thank you for visiting our website, to
Okay.
create this kind of connection and to just introduce the business owner and the brand. So it's more like a bonding thing where we say, this is what we do, this is why we're passionate about what we do,
Hmm.
and this is, so to create some kind of connection in terms of what the brand owner has to say, to
Hmm.
create a connection with the business. And then, of course, we like to send special deals, coupons, discounts. That is the second email normally is about sending a coupon, sending a special offer. And
Hmm.
then again, we go into like what customers say, like we share testimonials. So it normally goes back and forth between sending an offer and creating some kind of connection, offering some kind of value, offering like answering frequently asked questions. So it's half of it is sending special deals, and half of
Hmm.
it is answering questions and presenting the brand and creating this kind of connection. And
Good.
then after the first week, we have also, I mean, that's normally up to the business owner to
Hmm.
create like a long-term sequence of emails, and
Yeah. I wanted to
many
ask you that.
bigger
Yeah.
brands already have that. So uh, actually not so many. Yeah, I just found out, I think today I found out that only 15% of all e-com brand owners and e-com stores have a functioning email sequence. I think someone from the Klaviyo team told me this.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that common that people have an established email sequence ready, which they should. But yeah, I believe email is a very powerful tool to stay in touch with
Yeah.
our clients and to build our customer base and to not have to sell to strangers, as I said
Yeah.
previously. But yeah.
Yeah, I think email is a typical thing that everybody say, "Oh, you need to do email, you need to do email," but a lot of people don't really implement it. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's easier said than done, and it's yeah,
yeah,
it can be quite tricky. But yeah, we work with a team of experts who really know what they're doing in terms of writing email copy,
awesome.
and it's this is the part also that we how we deliver value to our clients. Yeah.
Good. Now, let's say for people listening to this episode right now, this they're interested into implementing VLC within their business. What is usually the process looks like, and what I mean by this is how long does it usually take to implement it in your website, and usually
Mm.
how soon you can start seeing maybe some of the leads coming in. If you can give us a bit of context on that as well.
That one is very fast. So, I mean, we do first. When somebody's interested, we do an assessment round first. So we first
Mm-hmm.
check, their store. We check the traffic
Mm-hmm.
and what is the typical order value and all that. And if they qualify, then to implement the system would take 1 day.
Wow,
I mean, to
fast.
to install
Yeah.
to install the scripts and to connect to set up our CRM account and to connect everything. So it will be connected within within 1 day. We can make this happen. I mean, most of the time when the store owner wants to implement the script themselves and or they
Mm.
want to let the IT guys do it,
Yeah.
this is where the
Yeah.
delay
Takes
happens,
longer.
and then we have to wait for this IT guy to show up and to do his stuff. But yeah, if the client lets us do the implementation, we can do it within 1 day, and then of course and then we can start testing. So we do like one round of lead generation, like 25 leads
Mm-hmm.
we generate just as a test run, just to see that it works and also to show to the
Mm-hmm.
client that see, these are 25 leads we just captured from your website.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start the email creation process at the same time. So that one takes like 3 to 5 days to complete the email sequence, because this is something very individual. I mean, there's no like one size fits all. So we want to talk to the business owner. We want to understand what is their brand message, how they want to be presented, and what would be the best imagery and copy, to present the brand. So the
Mm-hmm.
email writing task will take about 1 week.
Okay.
And after that, so basically a week after start, we are ready to run, and the email sequence is ready. And at the same time, we also create an email account most of the time. So some clients are concerned with what happens if so many emails get sent out
Mm.
from their business
Yeah.
email address.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we also do, like, we can create a separate email account and warm it up, and all this happens at the same time. So within one
Okay.
week we did this email accounts creation, we create the email campaign, we set up the CRM account, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so within 5 to 7 days we are normally good to go.
Good. So that means basically the client will get access to see this account where they can see all the leads that come in, and they can see the amount of
Yeah.
conversions they're getting out of the traffic and the full breakdown, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can do conversion tracking as well,
Okay.
but the client can definitely see the leads coming in, and they come in into our CRM. So whenever the client wants these leads to have the sent to them, we also do like a CSV export, and then we send them the lead list so they can implement it into their long-term campaign. But
Awesome.
yeah, it always depends on how the client wants to work. So some clients want
Mm-hmm.
us to just also do the long, like the nurturing campaign of a long time for
Yeah.
months to go, and
Mm-hmm.
some already have one, so they want just to take the leads after 1 week, and then they want to put it into their own CRM.
Mm. Okay.
And we also
Go.
can just to clarify, we can also exclude existing leads of a client.
That's
So let's
interesting. Yeah,
say, yeah.
because yeah,
So
they don't
if
want to
if a
duplicate.
repeat customer comes, of course they don't want to be sent this kind of email campaign that we send to strangers. So if number one, if somebody has actually bought a product, we can exclude them. Number two, if the client has a list, we can kind of implement this list and exclude everyone on the existing list to be sent these emails to. So we can also be smart about this, and not
Mm.
send emails that would not make sense for people who have bought or
Yeah.
people who are already clients.
Yeah. Now, just myself thinking outside the box here. I'm thinking, and maybe you can confirm this to me, that a way that potentially we could combine this with Amazon. And I say this because I know a lot of people that watch this show are Amazon sellers, is that you could do
Yeah.
something like you're selling on Amazon, you have like an insert card that say, okay, you can claim my warranty on my website or something along those lines. Those people go
Mm.
to the website, and then you can capture the email from those Amazon sellers. The Amazon doesn't
Yeah.
give you those emails, and then potentially you could do this strategy, right? That could be a way.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean it's as soon as you have your own store or website or whatever it is you can control, you can apply the system. And of course, yeah, I mean I've been selling on Amazon and I had my own e-com store.
Hmm.
And I know how tough it can be to grow it, you
Yeah.
know, and to and to make it profitable.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, every Amazon seller who has his own store can definitely implement the system and can also use inserts and whatever they're using to send traffic to their own store to and then capture the leads on top of
Yeah.
the
Always within
subscribers that they
TOS
get.
for sure. That's why I say warranties
Yeah,
or
yeah,
things
yeah,
that are within Amazon rules. But yeah, it's definitely
yeah,
a thing that could be implemented. Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you open, I bet, a lot of eyes to people watching this. They'll say,
I
okay, I
hope
need
so.
to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think it's a really it's yeah, we call it the number one growth hack for e-commerce. Which might be a bit bold, but honestly, I have not come across anything that can grow conversion rates and your lead list to this extent, like this
Yeah.
VLC system does. So, in that way, it is quite unique. Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing, Dano. I don't know if there is something else you'd like to share with us today around the VLC program before we start conclude today's episode. I just want to make sure that you give us as much knowledge and advice as possible around this. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me just summarize. So let me answer one frequently asked question. So
Yeah.
is this
Let's do that.
legal? So a
Yeah.
lot of people have concerns like with all these with this email restrictions and GDPR stuff.
Mm.
Is it legal? Are we doing something black
Yeah.
hat here or not? And I confirm. I mean, we spend a lot of time and we have hired some very expensive lawyers to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that this is actually legal and within the United States, it does comply with all these email laws that are out there. So
Awesome.
it is compliant with laws and regulations. So there's no trouble to be expected from there. Uh, and then yeah, so the other question I is like which stores are fit to use this. So I mentioned this before. Just to summarize, it has to be unique traffic from the United States, and it should be at least 10,000 visitors per month of unique traffic United States based customers. So these are
Mm-hmm.
the requirements, and yeah, so these are the requirements. And in terms of case, I mean, I could share a lot of case studies with you. I mean, I don't want to bore your audience here, but we have seen like people like furniture stores selling $600,000 plus within 3 months of applying our system and generating an ROI of
Wow.
32x. So that we have seen some really amazing results applying this, especially to stores which have big traffic and high ticket
Yeah.
products. It can really make a big difference. But
Yeah.
but hey, I mean,
Especially.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I just wanted to say that I totally agree because there are so many websites and business that all this traffic they are getting, it just go to waste. They don't use it.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
so
that's yeah, and this is and I and I really I
mm,
mean I can feel the pain,
mm,
of how how much effort. I know how much effort it takes. Like if you do SEO, I mean it
yeah,
takes
yeah.
months, to get
Mm,
to rank for anything in a
mm-hmm.
competitive space. And then and the other option is you run Google ads, you run Facebook ads,
And
whatever.
you,
I mean all
yeah,
these
you
things.
spend a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all not easy to make it work. And to make it profitable even less easy. But this system gives you like a 5-time leverage, on your traffic, and gives you all this like extra conversion rate, which can really change from making a loss to making a profit.
Awesome. Very nice. So yeah, I mean, Dano, I think it's for me it's been a pleasure. I think I learned something new today. So thank you for that. Before
Wow.
we conclude today's episode, I would like to ask you if you can share information around how people can find out more about the VLC program, and
Mhm.
also how they can get in contact with you if they have any questions. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So there is this little contact QR code on my
Hmm.
background. I think is this one. So this leads directly to my contact page.
Yeah.
But basically, if to get in touch, just type in defdevice.com.
Hmm.
What you also can see in my background, and then for the VLC system, just devdevice.com/VLC.
Awesome.
That's
I'm gonna make
yeah,
sure to
that's
put it down in the description for all of
yeah,
you
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you could just put it in the
Awesome.
description, would be great. And yeah, and but everything that as soon as you're on our website and you reach out to us, we can always point you there, and we can always get in touch and get on a
Awesome.
call.
That's great, Dana. So thank you very much for your time. I mean, thank you for everything, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have future episodes to keep discussing new things you bring to the
I
space. So
would
it's
love
been
that.
awesome to
I
have
would
you.
love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
So have
yes,
an amazing day,
Vincenzo.
man. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.